All right. Well, welcome back to another episode of So Problematic. This is your girl, Cece.
And Jay.
And we have our beautiful guest from another podcast, Miss Pillow Talk with the Tea, Miss Q. Welcome to our platform.
Woo-woo!
Thank you for being here with us. Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me.
Of course. So yes, this is another podcaster who, in our community we support. She supports us, and tell them a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself to our problematics, as we call them.
Okay, how you guys doing? And hi, the problematics. As my queen sisters have told you, my name is Kwamia. I am, but normally people that cannot pronounce my name, I always tell them just call me Q-Qua or either Queen. I am the host, founder, creator, CEO of Pillow Talk with the Tea podcast. It's a podcast that's basically candid, unguarded, raw, real, uncomfortable conversation. Basically, I'm just punching you in the gut with love and just basically snatching the rug from under your feet, and no more sweeping the crap that we need to really talk about under the rug. So that needs to stop. So that's where you get from Pillow Talk with the Tea. But I'm so much more other than that, but we're just focused on Pillow Talk with the Tea.
I love it. I love it.
I
Great intro.
I love that. With the punching in the gut with love.
I know.
Put a t-shirt.
Make a
t-shirt. I'll buy one.
I'll get one.
Get me a t-shirt.
Okay.
Definitely.
With love, like.
Put you in the right. You gonna love me.
I love that.
I love it. Yes. So definitely, this collab was
long overdue.
Long overdue. We've been talking about it for the longest, and I'm so happy that we finally have this. This platform now that we're here. We're ready to discuss the topics that we pretty much are ready to talk about.
Oh yes, because you're very right. Like listening to your podcast and just and even when a lot of times you have a lot of lives where they're recording while you're on like the couch and you're talking. Yeah. One thing I realized is that you just keep it real.
You keep it 100.
You keep it real. And I like when you slow it down and you be like, well, when the hand makes its way in, I'll be like, oh shit, she been hit with the hip. Hold on. I'll be like,
I swear, it's like everybody's starting to pick up my mannerisms.
Yes, that's what it is. That's what it is. Once that hand go, I'll be like, oh, she's gonna get into it.
We sit on the side of the couch like this. Here it is. Just sit on the couch like this. And I see her like this, and she gets that little inside blow. They can go down. They're gonna go down.
Be like, wait a minute.
Hear it, the side.
Yes. Like, yes. Yes.
Oh, I love it. It's the here or either when I say however. I say by the time I know somebody in the podcast world gonna end up having a whole video of me just saying with the in the whole however, and it's gonna be going around.
Yep.
There go another shirt. However.
And for me, it's the sitting, the way you sit with the, like, I'm gonna rip into you, but I'm gonna do it with,
what's the thing? I'm gonna let you finish, but
yes. I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh God, I can't. Or I remember who had said red lipstick vibe. She was like, when you go like this, I already know it's a wrap.
Yeah.
When she
reposition.
There it is.
But she be leaning into the people. She be like,
let me definitely check her out for real.
Yes, you guys need to. It's a necessity.
Yes, I watched one of your lives. What is it? Yesterday or the day before?
And probably the day before, Thursday.
Yeah, that was me. That was on there, and you were very authentic with your truth, and I love that. Like, you're not afraid to uncover your hurts and your pains. And a lot of people, even in the podcast community, I feel like a lot of people don't dig deep enough and be open and vulnerable. You were very vulnerable. I appreciate that about you. You're not afraid to just show who you really are and be judged about it. I like that.
Yeah, listen, I came a long way. And before I actually decided to, because I didn't even want to become a podcaster, to tell you the truth. Nope. And I always tell people what you guys seeing is what I give my people, and I've been giving them for 40 years of who I am. And they the ones that push me and say there's people out there that need you in their life and they need that voice. And I'm like I said, I've been through a lot. I survived a lot. Before I even decided to even put myself on Front Street, I had to really think about it.
Yeah.
Because I have no problem giving people me, but I had to make sure I was mentally, emotionally, and spiritually and grounded. The fact of just in case the judgment do come, because we know we live in the judgment world. We do. So I had to make sure that I was ready. So when I end up deciding to make that decision, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go in this with my whole heart. And because something that I survived, whatever I experienced, maybe somebody is going through, maybe somebody experienced it, or probably will experience it by hearing my survival story, they'll be able to do it. So I make sure I just go in there, because listen, they could smell when you're lying. They could smell organic. They know you're not. They could fish when something's not right in the water.
They can.
I agree 100%.
They never lie.
I've witnessed some podcasts where I've seen them on a live or something, or even just people. I'm gonna just put people.
People know.
And I hear them talking, but then I know behind the scenes them, and I'm just like, that's not who you are. That's not what I've seen behind the scenes. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like people can kind of tell, and we tend to want to collab with people who we feel are very authentic and genuine about who they are. Absolutely. And we felt that definitely from you. But we're going to go ahead into the first topic. We want to talk more about stereotypes. I think that's very huge, especially, with this social media world and, these platforms and whatnot. Like, so basically I know I'm the thinker, so I write down certain things. This is what I wrote down, okay? There's different types of stereotypes, right? The personality traits, the domestic behaviors, the occupations, the physical appearance. And that goes into for men and women. I want to ask the first question for you is, what do you think is one of the worst stereotypes for women? The perception of women on social media. What do you think like that bad stereotype is the most?
Basically, perfection, certain body image, certain weight size. That's basically the whole, I don't know, I guess you got to be a size 6 or 9, 8, 10, whatever. But that's and I just don't understand, because we got to be careful with that, because we have that's growing up, that's 10 years old, that's now looking at themselves in the mirror and thinking that and questioning themselves at 10.
Yeah.
I have nieces.
Yeah.
Questioning themselves. And I know you guys probably have daughters and stuff and nieces and question themselves. So we have to be careful, because that's not the average size of a woman. If you want to take it there.
It's not.
Nah, we being realistic. No, it's not.
No. And what being unhealthy, to me, that's unhealthy. And put out the image, if you do have a curve or you do have something with a nice full face or chunky or something, that's considered you're unhealthy. Who said that?
That's very true.
And I feel like the whole image thing on social media for women is the fact that you have to have a small waist, big ass, curvy thighs. And come on, we already know a lot of women doesn't have that.
No.
Especially a lot of women that's not in the the urban community descent don't have that. And so we know how many people that's going out there to get that and not even fitting their body types, because your body wasn't to have that.
Yeah. So, oh my gosh.
Women, we need to be careful in regards of allowing social media, allowing the commercials, allowing the government, allowing whatever, society, the men, because they could even be cruel and sit there because we put this in their image in their head as little boys, and they grow up still thinking that this is the way to the world. I'm just thank God that my son at 20, about to be 21 years old, I'm just really grateful. The fact is that I showed him that women does have curves, women do have rolls, women do have bigger boobs, and that it's not all perky and standing up to salute and they juice, you know what I'm saying, when we take off the bra, and that's okay. And he sees that, and I see his pick in young ladies, and I'm like, okay, I did a good job in some way, shape, or form, because he's not looking at that size 2 thinking that that's supposed to be the way of, like, that's the woman I'm supposed to be with. And we have to be very careful with what we put out there. And women, I don't care what nobody tell you, you love yourself and love your body. And this is definitely a body that you was given, created, and equally molded for you. That's it. And you got to be careful with the girls that are coming behind you, because we got to be careful what we're putting out there, what we're telling them without telling them that's okay when we know it's not okay. Because we know as women, we still have struggles. We struggle. And we at 10 years old, we sitting there just questioning and thinking about what they thinking at 10. Just imagine what we was at 10, what we was thinking about. But now it's like 10, the age 10 nowadays is completely different than I
definitely.
It's you're very right about that, because I have 2 different friends who I know, and they both have 10-year-old daughters. And one friend, her daughter is, when I say full figured at 10. And to the point where even the doctor at some point wanted to do some work to see if something was wrong, just to ensure that she was okay. And then I have another friend whose daughter is, when I say, like, I would say petite, but very, not so much skinny, because she's a little thick girl, which I love. But my thing is that she is still not developed like my other friend is. So seeing those 2, like, I will tell them, I'm a personal trainer / wellness coach. I celebrate healthy bodies. My main thing for all my clients, he will tell you, I promote healthy living, not anorexia, not starvation. Because sis loves to eat on a every day.
She loved to eat.
Food is my love language. Food is my love language. If you really want to have a deep conversation with me, it has to be around food. If not, we're not going to talk and have a conversation. So for me, food is my love language. I have no problem. My mom told me if somebody can kill me by bringing me food every day, they will kill me. Come to my house and be my best friend. But that is me. So for me, I believe food should be eaten. And for me, I believe women's bodies should be celebrated at the end of the day. I don't believe that there's a one box for any woman's body, because I love seeing a full figured woman in a good outfit and she is set to the gods. I actually I had a crush on this one woman who I used to work at daycare, and she was a full figured woman, and she would bring up her daughter, and she was so just outfit. She was a businesswoman, and she was curvy, and I loved the way she looked. So now being a mom and wearing my clothes, like, I always remember how she looked, and I had a crush on her because she was just beautiful and what she wore. So I agree with you that we have to be careful, because I tell both my friends that your daughter's body should be celebrated, and so should your daughter's body should be celebrated, because you can never tell these little girls that their bodies have to look a certain way. And grown women, I wish we all knew that. Whether you got titties like me, or no titties, or an ass, or no ass, let me tell you, it all goes down to hell once we have a kid. So let's be honest, mine went to Jesus in 2017. Okay,
it went to Jesus.
It went to Jesus. Now it just drags down, and guess what? I don't give a damn. I put a bra on, I look good for 2 hours, I come home and take it off. That's my reason. I don't give a damn. I have stretch marks, so what? That shows you that what? I had a damn baby. And what? There she's walking around. So I love when you said that. That bodies are to be celebrated, and when they go through giving birth or just in life, it is to be celebrated, because God ordained women to do so much, that to put our bodies at the forefront of our minds, that just who we are, the person. So I
feel like if we were all meant to be the same, he would have made us all the same. You know what I'm saying?
We would have.
we are all of our bodies are different. Even if, let's just say,
until we get passionate about that topic.
No, for real though. But let's just say, if we were all to be the same size, right? An example, we were all 120 right now. Mm-hmm. Your 120 is still not going to look like my 120.
True.
You're taller, I'm shorter.
Yeah.
I have hips. You probably don't have hips.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, why are we putting everybody in such a box? Ooh. That stereotype irritates me. Mm-hmm. And it really does, because I know for a fact that no, but seriously, even if somebody wants to lose weight and you think that's what that person needed, their body's still not going to look like mine.
Yeah, very
true. And then it's so crazy that you just said that, Cece, because within the past 2 to 3 years, I've been in this whole health journey, lost over 65 pounds.
Congratulations.
Awesome.
Thank you. And at the same time, my ass, my hips, my curves, they not going anywhere. Mm-hmm. I could even I could take myself out of the 200s and put myself in the high 100s. It's still going to be there, because that's structure of my body. Mm-hmm. That's of my build. It's not, and then honestly, I don't want it to go anywhere, because anyone would know. I even asked my trainer, I said, before we go and do anything, I do not want to lose my ass, my hips, or my thighs.
I hear that all the time from Black women. Everybody saying to me,
listen, make sure the ass is that. Okay?
I'm telling you, I got 2 trainers, a female and a male. Yeah. I let them know I do not want to lose. And we had this conversation so deep. They was like, Q, I got you. I said, I'm telling you, I will leave. Because as soon as I see it. So, but of course, it's not going anywhere. Just like she said, no matter if we are 120, 130, our 120 will look different from one another's, because of the build of our structure, of our bone structure. It's different. And then also, I'm a strong believer, and I stand behind, and if people go into my personal page or my Instagram, in my bio, I say I'm a curvy ambassador. Body positivity. That's what I stand for. I've been curvy all my life. It's not going anywhere. So at 40 years old, I learned to embrace it, to love it, to walk with it with elegance and grace, with respect and stand. And if you're not going to respect it, I'm going to make you respect it. This is.
Period.
And that's, for me as a trainer, I always ask my clients, what do you want to look like? Like I need to know where your mindset's at. Mm-hmm. And it's a trick question, because I ask that knowing what I'm going to say after. Yeah. And they always say, some will say, oh, I want like Beyonce this or this and this. And I hit them with when they're done, I'll be like, all right, so basically what I'm going to do for you is get you to a healthier version of who you are already. Yeah. I say, and I always get from my African-American queens, leave my ass, leave my thighs, leave my hips alone. I'm like, listen, girl, I'm going to help you talk, but we're going to keep them, because Black women, this is my speech to Black women. The curves of those curves, those magnificent, glorious curves, the curves that I tell you make even a woman who straight hard skip 3 freaking million beats, see that shit, roll through the streets with the heels on, and even a little jeans. I hit we cannot be beat. People go to meet Jesus almost and die on a certain table to get them shits. Okay,
yes, they do.
You better celebrate them hips, that ass and thighs and breasts, because other cultures literally almost die for that.
Yes, they do. And this is what I say all the time. I say, we have women that's going on the table to get what we naturally have, and that was gifted and blessed to us. Mm-hmm. And I say we have to be able to appreciate the curves and the what we have was gifted with. Women it have died for or willing to die for. And it's like, come on. And I remember when I first put my photo shoot pictures, my full body photo shoot pictures on my page. And I got so many comments, so many things. And people was like, I didn't even know you was like that. I didn't even know oh my God. Like, and I had women that was even embracing it. Men they was, of course, you know, men be trying to celebrate it too without sounding, you know, pervish. And I understand, you know what I'm saying? Because they see a Black queen that's amazing with a unique body, that's curvy, that's celebrated, that's in her confidence and standing in it. And of course, women was like, girl, if I had your thighs and your hips, I would be a whole hoe out here. And I was like,
I would too. I'd be like, in these streets, don't play these with me.
Okay.
Baby.
Okay.
Baby.
Listen, okay.
Oh, I know that's right.
I love my man. Hallelujah. Hey, baby.
Exactly.
Well, I'll be a ho. I got my man. So I'm gonna tell you this right now. Sure.
But ladies definitely need to just, you know, just celebrate the body and don't care. And this is what I think, this is what I always say, be unapologetically you. Be unapologetically love who you are in the body that you're in. Just don't care about what society, what commercials, what magazines, or what the person is saying that you should look like. Just love you. And if you're not at that stage of loving you and loving who you are, you will end up learning to love who you are, because I always tell people, find the beauty in the mark of whatever it is that you don't like. Make that your beauty mark.
Yes, agree.
You hit a topic for me.
Yeah.
Because for me, all my life, I hated my thighs. Hated. Because my mother has big thighs. I remember making fun of her because of her thighs when I was a child. I said, Mom, your thighs are huge. I do not want thighs like that.
Right.
You had them. You grew up and you had it, right?
I grew up and had them. And now I call them my money makers. Because everywhere I go as a trainer, people, I mean, they don't look at my stomach. They don't look at nothing else that's on my body. They're looking at my thighs. They're like, yo, some thighs. And then so nice, when you said that, they're thinking, and I went from thinking, no, Jaleesa, they're not your enemies.
Yes.
Those are your best friends.
Yes.
Exactly.
Everywhere. And now for me, any dude I'm talking to is like, I gotta be like, they be like, I gotta be upfront with you. I seen them thighs. I was like, oh Lord, here we go. So what you said is, I hated them for so long until I said, no, wait a minute. I'm thinking about this all wrong. These things are kind of getting me business.
Yes.
So let me put more attention in loving them.
Yeah.
So I love that about what you just said. It's so true.
I love it.
Now for the men, what do you feel is the biggest stereotype for men?
Woo, Jesus. I'm trying to see, Lord, the biggest stereotype for men today. I would say normally, I don't want to go back. I don't really want to go too far back, but you already know how I am. I'll keep it 1,000. I think the complex of the dark skin, light skin, also the whole thing of if you don't look cute like that to Tyrese, you know, that
what's his name?
More,
yeah.
You know, those different type of people from light skin, dark skin, if you're not even in that complex of that beauty of a handsomeness, and then I don't understand why men think that we can't call them beauty. Y'all beautiful too. I don't understand why y'all don't think but that I feel like that dark skin, light skin complex stereotype with them, and then knowing the fact you have to be up here to fit the mold of a handsome man. And I seen some, because to me, I think Sil is a sexy ass motherfucker.
Baby, I love me a dark thing. I don't care. Dark thing. Jesus, I'm sorry. A lot of
people would be like, what do you mean? He got scars. And then some people was like, even if you remove the scars, he still would be ugly. I'm like, I don't see what y'all seeing. I really don't. And I say, maybe my eye of beholder of beauty is completely different than yours.
Yeah.
And I just really think that's a sexy man. But of course, he in the society, people wouldn't take him, people wouldn't accept him. But I guarantee you, he'd be the man that's going to treat your ass right.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And it be those. That is a big stereotype, though.
Him and Jamon, what's that man?
Yes. It is a big stereotype. Because they be thinking that people like him, or we can even reverse this even back. They think because the handsome Shamar Moores and Tyson Bedfords and all that, they be the ones that's going to treat you right, but those are the ones that treat you completely the opposite. because they know they enhance.
The Michael Ealy's with the pretty eyes and all of that.
Michael Ealy's, exactly. Those are the ones that's gonna mistreat you. They're gonna take you in at first because they're gonna show their representative. But once they got you in, then they're gonna show you who they really are, because now they got you sucked in, they got you digmatized, they got you all in there now.
Speak on it, sis. Speak on it.
Top of that, then you're gonna start seeing it, but you now so stuck in it and you hypnotized and digmatized. So the fact is that you now make too deep that you can't even slide your way out, because it's gonna take time, because that he dicked you down. He ate you out, and he said there now treated you a little bit good, and now you think that, oh, I could get that
Get
back.
on it. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Okay.
That's what you call, you know, Sunday revival. The day after Sunday, we got a little revival. You start remembering the word right there. That's the word.
Right.
It's true. That is so true.
And so speaking on that and stereotypes, who you think that has the most expectations in the bedroom?
Yes.
In the bedroom. Who do you think, like,
men? Men does.
Why is that? Why do women have to be like all in? Like they want their dicks sucked. Like, but it's like when it comes to y'all want to eat us out, well, I don't do that until I get married, or I don't do that at all. Like,
first of all, the men sit there, they want all that because they learn from porn.
True.
Facts.
Get a fact.
They try to get that porn experience 24/7, 7 days a week, 360.
Facts.
When that's not reality.
Right.
That's why I'm so glad. I'm telling you, my son relationship is very open. The way how I'm candid with you guys, I'm exactly with him. Since he was able to talk and come to tell me, Ma, look at my wing. I'm not playing. I told my son, if you do look at porn, that's not reality.
Okay.
At all.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Not at all. I don't care if you need to Google search some real shit, but don't take the lesson of no Pornhub stuff. But some stuff on Pornhub and XXX is kind of real, whatever. But just don't think that porn is the reality. Because first of all, people don't realize about Pornhub and XXX. Those things are actually like snippets that's repeat. They don't, people don't catch it. They don't know that.
Yeah.
So they thinking that it goes on a long time. And that's what men in the stereotype. Then women, I don't like this about women, is the fact is, oh my God, I'm not gonna do this until I'm married, or oh my God, this is such nasty, I don't suck dick. Oh, girl.
That's my topic now. You getting on my little topic now. Let's get it, girl. I love it.
You better suck that dick, because somebody will if you don't.
Baby, I'm the connoisseur. So I'm saying you on my topic because I'm the connoisseur of that situation.
No, I'm talking about the ladies who say they don't. Because they don't.
I don't understand homegirl be doing, because she ain't riding dick all night now. I'm sorry. I ain't riding all night, so I need to get you up, because I ain't got time for the all night situation.
Exactly. Or I remember when I was watching this show, I'm binge watching Shameless on Netflix, right? And when I was in college, the girls were like, well, hit me, fuck me in my ass because I want to stay a virgin in my vagina. And
I've heard that before. No, for real.
And I'm like, what the hell? So I'm sitting here like, okay, because they was like, I'm saving myself for my husband. So, the back door is we could play all day. But you do everything else. But then you telling me that you're not willing to sit here and you might well just just go ahead, chop the cherry.
Exactly. No, for real.
You can go down. Yeah, you can see mad chicks in the dorm rooms. They're going down on them, or girls going down on each other. But for some reason, they don't want to hit the VV. Like, why? I don't understand. And then you want to get out here acting like you don't suck dick, or you don't do this, and you don't bend over, or you don't go the way this way, and you don't bend that way. You lies.
I don't get it, because to me, I feel like this. Oral sex is a requirement to even go on my ride, to be honest with you. If you ain't giving head, then you're going to be dead.
Girl,
you're going to be dead to me, because let me tell you something. She needs to be, listen, no, baby. If you ain't giving head,
I put niggas out my house who did not give in the mix of of them thinking that I was going to just do them and they was not going to do me. Take your clothes,
right.
Take your clothes, sir, and the door is right here. And if you refuse, all I got to do is press 9, and you either going to go out the window or go out this door. Which one? Because if I call my uncles and brothers, they ain't going to give a damn about what you got to say.
Yep.
Preach.
Yep.
So listen, and I don't like that in regards to that, because I'm sitting here, I talked about this on the show, and I'm not sure if you girls even heard about this. The fact is that men will want to accept oral for women, but talking about it's against my religion for me to give oral to you.
Yes.
What?
That part.
First of all, you want to know something? I don't give head unless I get it first.
And
that's your rule, and that's right.
I don't.
You know what? And I end up starting to, as I got older and I realized that was a problem, I start reverting and say, you have to give it to me first. Or if we not having any, you ain't getting nothing.
Because they do.
I changed it. You have to change it. You have to realize, first of all, you got to know the player you're playing with.
Preach.
And then you got to sit there and know, because I'm telling you, the energy, the vibe will show you where they're coming from. You got to and you got to, and then the thing is, I'm telling you, and then you got to pay attention to the fact, though, what they speak and what they talking. I don't like a bragger. Don't give me
either. Yes.
It lets me know that your performance is not top notch. You talking about the performance you want to have that you may not be there yet, but that's a turn off for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think
don't be bragging.
No, I think so. With the stereotype, it's up to men for some reason have to be the best performers, have to do whatever. Or you can also whip stereotype for women with sex. We have to be the sluts, the hoes. And listen, my grandmother told me this. She said, especially if you married, you better be his hoe, his slut, his trick, his mistress, his everything upside down. You better put on a red wig, a blue wig, a blonde wig. You better turn it out, because that man is yours forever. And if you're not
I'm Calvina, I'm Cece, I'm Bay, I'm Redbone, I'm all of that.
I got complaints when I was married. I got complaints. My complaints was that the complaint he had for me was that I don't have realistic expectations when it comes to sex. He said, this person said that you can't have sex 7 days a week.
I knew he was gonna go there. I knew he was gonna say that shit.
Wait, and it happened again in another relationship. I was like, is it me? I started feel like a satanic.
Listen, you gotta track men that's on the same sex. See, this is the thing.
That's what it is. You're right.
Yeah.
I told my friends that, let me tell you something. Men would think that they could be able to take a very sexualized woman until they have one.
You're right.
Realize they can. That's so what me, knowing the fact, and I tell a man, even the guy I'm talking to today, I say, listen, I'm a sexual ass being. I'm telling you that now. And if you cannot have handle on this ride, don't get on this motherfucker.
That's what I need to be doing. That's what I need to be doing, a disclaimer.
Yes, I do, because the thing is, I'm telling you, because I've been in relationships, and this is how you just said, where people was like, oh my God, what the hell, like again? Or oh my God, you have so high spec. I say, no, I don't have high expectations of sex. Your expectation of sex is just very low. That's what it is.
And it doesn't show with who he has dealt with in the past.
I feel like I was the problem. I'm like, am I really like, now I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's because I waited for so long to lose my virginity. Maybe that's why. But then part of me was like, no, I mean, you just I enjoy the connection. I enjoyed the moment. Yeah. And then, so the complaint from two people was like, then I started doing my research, and I was like, then I started realizing
find somebody who's on the same.
You're very right what you said about that.
Yeah, so just the same way as we look at, and we want to connect with a partner or guys in regards to good communicative, affectionate, loving, all that. We got to also look at the sex level. And this is what I do. If your sex level doesn't match mine or above mine, it ain't happening. Because I need my sex cup to be filled. If not, I'm gonna have a wandering eye, and I'm gonna tell you, I will cheat on you.
I love your ass, because let me tell you something. I love how you just so frank and open, and you just said that, because A lot of people be like, well, if it doesn't hit that level, I'm just gonna see what I can do.
Why
My
can't
girl
you
said
be
no.
honest?
No, I'm gonna cheat on your ass.
No.
I don't got time for it. I gave you the expectation.
And I keep it frank with them too, because I'm telling you, if I feel like by the time we done with this experience, because me having sex with me has to be an experience.
Yeah.
And if I feel like if I have not rolled on this roller coaster ride, you ain't take me there and brought me back and took me there again. And if I feel like by the time we're done, if I have not busted 3 nuts, because 3 is my favorite number, if I had a good orgasm, I'm telling you, it's going to be a problem, because I'm not talking about working it out. First of all, why the fuck do I need to teach you? How old are you, sir? You knew the disclaimer when you came, and you end up entering to Pandora's box. So what's the problem? We're not doing it. So I told many of my exes, not to be rude or disrespect, but if that tank ain't filled, I understand sex is not everything, but sex is a connection form to me. It's for me to be close to you. It's another verbal communication. For me, I'm very affectionate. I come from a big, large, affectionate family, so that's also part of my affection. Not just holding hands, kissing in public and all that other stuff. You tapping me on my ass when I'm in the kitchen cooking, but that's a connection form of another verbal dance, of another communication form of dance with me.
Yes,
you have to perform. If you don't perform and my cup is not running over, I told them before, and I could get 3 niggas on the phone. They're like, yeah, she would cheat on you.
And I love that. I like when you said that, because people just say, okay, sex isn't everything. And I agree, sex isn't everything, but
it is
for
something.
Me,
yes.
And even with a couples therapist, she said that's your form of reconnection. That's a form of connection. She's like, sex is what makes you different from the other people in these streets. If you're with somebody in a relationship, that's what you and that person have that separates that person from all these other people in these streets, because that's the person that you're with sexually. And I loved how you just said, listen, I keep it very frank. I keep it very open. I'm not going to bullshit. Yep. Because yes, I feel like a lot of men are not ready, and they love the concept of having sex with you, but not knowing that it comes with some guidelines. It comes with the, get a job has the guidelines and it has the responsibilities. Yeah. It does have that. Yeah. And I'm learning that now as a single mother and single in general, that Jaleesa, being with my ex-husband for so long, there was a plethora of things that were not happening sexually. And so now coming into my own, I'm learning what I don't and do like. Yes, I'm 32, I know, but better late than never. And I am now learning things that I'm just like, yes, that is what's up. Yes, this is not it. Yes, this is it. And I'm also learning, like you just said, to set my expectations with these people. Yeah. And it's knowing that do not compromise sexually. Meaning, I've learned this, that that all the time. If you want head and head is your prerequisite for sex, then you gotta let that be known, because a man who says he's not gonna do it, it's wrong for me to be like, well, just do it now that we're doing it. No. So I'm learning to have my list, be realistic, have my list, but just know that, let them know, be aware of it, but and know what I don't and do like, because baby.
Exactly. And I like what you just said, because you just said that you realize tapping it and being into your own, that you're starting to know what you like, what you don't like, what you want, what you don't want. And this is what I say on Pillow Talk with the Tea all the time. Women know what they want, because I'm telling you, and then Cece just said it too, women would be in a sex deprived relationship or marriage, just laying there receiving whatever the man's giving them, but the man is really being pleased. And I'm telling you, that is not a form of a good marriage or relationship. And that's why you end up being unhappy. But you gonna stay there because the kids. Ain't no child making me stay nowhere.
You can't talk. Listen, we got
no child making me stay nowhere. If ain't shit going on with me and daddy and it ain't right, guess what? Your daddy gonna always be daddy, and me and daddy ain't together.
Exactly. Okay. And that's on period. That's on period, though.
Yeah. No, it ain't happening. And it's okay, because at the end of the day, people do go, first of all, no one's, even if you're married, you're not going to stay together forever, because you're going to die. Both of you are going to die, or either somebody's going to die.
Right.
However, the thing is, in the mission of the fact is that if you do end up dying together, cool. That's the purpose. That's the mission. To death do you part. However, nothing is promised forever. Nothing. So in regards to that, if your season is up with your husband or your wife, just say, okay, we had a good ride, and let it be what it is.
Story of my life right now, friend, because you know she is newly divorced, and I'm just like, people have killed me with that, where it was like, oh, you're really destroying your daughter's life. And I'm like, first of all, it takes two people to be married. Two people have to want to be in it. Second of all, I always say to them, my daughter will be okay because her mother's okay. And I said, and third of all things, I want her to look back and say, my mom left this because she wanted a better life for me and her. Not my mom stayed in it to make me happy, because now I'm able to give my daughter a life that I really want her to have. And now I have opened up the opportunity for another man to show my daughter how her mother's supposed to be loved in a relationship.
Exactly.
Now my daughter has the ability to see in the, whoever I find that God knows them, who can show my daughter how a marriage is supposed to be.
Right.
Supposed to and look like, not what she was seeing. And for me, you know, my biggest fear is I didn't want my daughter to think that a man coming home intoxicated was okay. I want her to know that a man coming home in a positive and healthier light was okay. And when one day when he came home and he couldn't hold her or anything because he was intoxicated again. And she looks at me at the age of 2 and says, it's okay, mommy, daddy's just sick right now. Because I would tell her that he's sick. Well, he wouldn't be like that. And when she said that to me, that's when that pit feeling hit me that this is about to be over. And my mother sat down with me and said to me, if Mackenzie was you and you were Mackenzie, what would you do to her? I said, I would slap her and tell her to leave that man alone. She's like, so how do you think I feel? She's like, as a mother, I want to slap you and tell you that I would never tell you to leave your husband, but in this case, leave that man alone. Because a lot of women do feel like they got to stay because they don't think it's that bad. Know that abuse isn't just a physical hit. It's a mental, it's an emotional, it's a spiritual. And we don't look at things like that.
That's kind of another stereotype too.
Very much so.
If you think about it, women are expected to stay in it, be there and support your man and do thick and thin and this and that. But the man be so quick to walk out the door and leave you and your kids.
All the time. So, and this is the same. Oh, girl, y'all hitting them nose, because I'm telling you, it's like, or even at the beginning when you're talking to them, it's like they got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And it's like, what the hell? Are we doing this or are we not? Because it's out. And I remember with my last relationship, I ended up basically told the guy, I was like, listen, I'm done. Like, you figure out what you want to do. You know where I'm at. And that's if I'm available. Because what I'm not going to do is play this hopscotch, in and out, French jump rope. I'm not a child.
No,
we ain't doing that.
I'm not doing that. We're not going to do that. So, and all the same, sometimes that's what I'm saying. You have to, people be like, don't give them ultimatums. What?
You do. No, you do.
Give him an ultimatum, because if not, he will. If I didn't, how? Just imagine how long that would have played out and would have been. Because one thing I'm gonna tell you about men is, the thing is, if you don't put guidelines, you don't put rules, you don't give them ultimatums, and you don't let them know your standards, they will tap dance on that shit and drag that shit and do whatever they want as long as you allow them to do it.
I've learned that.
And they will not say anything about it, because they will say, oh, she ain't speaking on it, she ain't saying nothing, so I'm gonna keep doing me and doing whatever. And just even the fact of you sitting there, women, that's it. I'm telling you something. Women, men leave their mom's house and going to their wife's house. So regardless, always taken care of in some type of way with femininity.
Very true.
So in regards to that, we also mold them, even as a grown-ass man, because if we don't start the conversation with them, they won't have the conversation.
Facts.
Girl, when are you in January? Where was January? Everything you say now, I'm just like, yes. And now I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
They will not. They will sit there in a, what's this new term? Situationship. And they will dance in that shit till guy brings them home. Just having a good time, drinking Hennessy in a situationship, drinking all kind of Ciroc and shit. They won't get out of it until you evict their ass out. They won't.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I had just told the friend that I say, listen, you don't bring up that conversation. He would not have that conversation.
They won't.
That's we even though they're the leaders, but remember, we're the necks. Their head can't move without the movement of the neck. So there's two people that plays a role in this whole situation. So when he ain't moving, we have to guide him to move. So that's why I tell people, like, I'm telling you, but if you don't bring up, like, even you in a long relationship with the man, you don't bring up marriage, he ain't bringing that shit up
at all.
You don't talk about no baby, you ain't having no kids. You ain't telling him that you want date night and this is how we're going to go. He ain't doing. He gonna sit his ass in front of that TV, watch that football game, and sit there and eat them Cheetos.
Girl,
if you ain't gonna tell him that, baby, we need to get healthier for the family and be here longer for the kids, he ain't working out.
Ain't doing that thing. It's so true, because even with my ex-husband, when I remember when we first met, I said to him, hey, we dating for 3 years, we getting married after that. If you don't want to marry me, leave me the hell alone. Then he was like, whoop. He was like, whoop. I said, I'm not playing with you. But that was, you know, and it's so funny because I did that then when I was so young in my early 20s. And now in my 30s, I'm like, I thought men evolved from that. I thought they actually, no. And now I'm realizing the way I was in my 20s, being so blunt like that with my ex, is how I still have to be now. To where even these men in their 40s, girl. Because obviously I'm a 40 hunter. I don't know. It is what it is in me. It's in me. I don't know why. I love
ain't nothing wrong with that.
I love me a little bit.
But you have to.
So my guy 15 years older than me.
I love it. Don't you just love it?
Yes, I do not. I did not. I will not. I would not date no guys 40 and below.
Thank you.
I mean, you have to be 10 years to 15 years older than me to ride this ride.
That's why I love your ass. Now I see the reason why. I don't fuck with them if they not 10 years old.
My guy's 54, about to be 55 in January. Nope.
Thank you. I don't know why. It's like, for me, they have to be that it's the 40 above club. I'm 32, turned 33, but I love my 40 above club. It's just, and they kind of raggedy too, but I'm gonna stick beside them. You know what I'm saying?
They got issues too. I think every age range got issues. Got issues.
They got issues too.
You can pluck out the right ones, and you also can pluck and pick the right RIP, the right ones as well. Because I'm telling you, can mold them. Know those ones you could be able to mold, and not in a bad way, but in a way, because again, I say that even though, like you said, at 20 years old, you had to be blunt, forward, and all that. We as women, we have to continue to be that. Because I'm telling you, even though the man be from his mom's house to his wife's house, even though from a boy to now a man, these men are still boys, but in a man form. That's why we call them grown ass boys.
What
they are, grown ass boys.
They are.
Now that that's what I'm telling you. Like they probably won't eat a good meal unless you cook the shit for them. Like it's so much. If you really pay attention, you'll be like, "Yo, this shit is crazy." Like,
no, it is so crazy.
Yeah, and I tapped into that to like I say, I always had my father in and out of my life, but then who was really basically a huge father figure for me was my grandfather. God rest his soul. So I seen that with. And even with my grandmother, I'm like, damn, he wouldn't even eat if she wouldn't make his plate. He wouldn't even sit there and do this. But one thing I could say about with them working, they will get their ass up and work. But everything else around that, it's like you have to guide them. Like, And it's like, I was like, okay, I see they just grown ass boys. Are they really men? Like, so I used to really think, I be going deep in my head, just analyzing shit.
No.
I be like, this is really crazy, but it is what it is. And But just to say, me just having that hard male figure, and then a lot of males of my uncles in my life in their presence. But I didn't really start to dissect the male species until I became a boy mom.
Me too.
I had to, I'm like, he's my son. I gotta figure out, like, okay, what's going on? I gotta figure out what this, gotta figure out, like, you know, if he's sensitive or not sensitive, he emotional, all these things. And I have to wonder, like, okay, what angle I need to approach with him with? Because one thing about we realize, you cannot approach every child with the same angle as the other child, because every child is different. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I used to have to explain to my aunt, because she would be like, why are you so aggressive with him? I said, did you meet my son? Like, what you mean? I said, my son ain't that pity pat, like, oh my God, baby. My son is not that. I seen my son fall off a fucking bunk bed, hit his head, got back up, and start running in the house like ain't shit happened. My son ain't no, oh my God, baby. Like,
yeah.
No, like, there's some kids that you can't do that to, and you will know who the kids are. But my son is not that. I'm like,
that's true.
What she was doing was she was confusing and mixing the difference between her son and my son. And I said, different people. I say, my son is not that human being. My son would get knocked out by the fucking quarterback on the team, get back up and ready and knock the bitch out himself. So no, like, you gotta realize that.
And when it comes to raising boys, you start to learn the male anatomy and how they kind of think, because I have two boys, two different ages.
Ooh, girl.
Two boys. One just turned 18, so I know where you're coming from with that. And I'm like you when it comes to being very open and vocal and being on top of him and just being blunt with him. Because even though my husband does the majority of the conversating with him with that, I'm letting him come. I'm coming to him from a female's perspective so that he has wisdom from a female and both angles. Like, you talking to the man, I get that, but listen to the woman and how a woman feels with certain things. I get that. And he's very more like different than the younger one. The younger one is very outgoing and spoken, and this one, my oldest one, is very timid, and I don't want no woman walking over him.
Tell them again. Listen, I be on my shoulders like, mothers, get your daughters. I'm telling you, like, and then even though Maz is 20, I don't give a fuck if Maz is 50 years old, I'm still gonna feel this way.
I fight girls.
What? Girl, my son knows. Listen, sometimes my son be like, Mom, I say, you know I can't touch this damn girl. And call your cousin, because she won't go to jail. She won't at least go to jail. Me, I'm gonna go to jail. Like,
and it's so funny because hearing this from like the boy's mom point, like, that's how being a girl mom, that's how we are. Like, as a girl mom, we're like, let me tell you, like, I tell people, I tell them all the time, I'm like, y'all, I'll be like, listen, these motherfucking crusty ass motherfucking sons, they talk about they know these gold, and I be
my sister, because my sister got the girl. Yeah, my sister got the girl, I got the boy, and it's crazy. My brother got the boy and the girl.
He got the both of them. It's so true. Like, hearing one mom say, "You better get that girl." I mean, my mom, like, that's how we be, like, somebody sucking them, come on, go. You know, it's so fun. Like, as a mother in general, like, how protective we are, but how we want to make sure our kids are aware. Yeah. Which is what I love, because if you're over here teaching your sons one thing, which is what needs to be taught, I'm teaching my daughter also the same thing on a woman level. Yeah. At the end of the day, the future will be brighter because they will both be educated and knowledgeable on both sides. Like, hey, you respect the man. Put your hand on nobody's son.
Yes, exactly. And this is what I be saying, because I'm saying it like, hold up, we're teaching our boys to respect the women, treat them like queens, treat them with royalty, and not to put their hands on them and just walk away. When what the hell are you doing with your daughters? They think because they're women, they can't get touched. Are you serious? Like, no, you can get touched too. What it is that, in fact, he's going to walk away a few times, but you keep pushing him in the corner, provoking. He's then going to hit you. And it's so crazy because I seen this happen, and my son was like, Mom, his whole school was like, Miss B, he walked away at least 15 times. Like, Seriously. And she kept following him. And I see this even in the community. Like the girls just keep following them and keep going after them. And I'm like,
very true.
That's dangerous. Like if you literally, it's like pushing a lion in a cage and you keep poking at him. And eventually he's gonna find a way out and attack your ass. So you can't do that. And then I also come to the fact is like, what I tell women who have girls is stop sitting, like teach your women that the boys' feelings, emotion matters too. They do have fucking emotions. And if our sons do end up be opening up to your daughters and become vulnerable, which they normally don't always do, and if they trust in your daughter to do, tell your daughter don't fucking dismiss my son's fucking emotions and feelings. And don't tell my son he weak because he tapped into his emotional intelligence. Come on now, are you kidding me? But then as a young lady, you saying this is what you want, but then when he show it, now saying he weak, girl, you better sit your ass down.
But you see, the thing is, like, I was taught two things by my father. My dad taught me the first thing is you never touch a man. He's like, you better walk your behind away, take your behind. My dad said, you would understand something. A man will always be stronger than you. They were designed by that. My dad took his hand down and he said, put your hand in my hands. My hand, he's like, a woman's hand is always smaller than a man's hand because of the fact that they were not made to do the labor and to the defending. A woman's hands are gentle to hold the babies and to handle the household. God designed you beautifully like that and how your hands work. So I understood then that my dad always said, walk away. Even when we were divorcing and separating, I was the one that said, hey, I gotta go. I left my house. I left because we were becoming to the point where I knew, let me stop antagonizing the situation because it only takes so much. That was one lesson. Another lesson my dad taught me was never make a man build a wall that you can't take down block by block. Meaning, never make a man feel like when he comes to you and expresses himself, if you dismiss him and you ignore it or you act like you don't want to hear it, he's gonna put bricks up on that wall. To the point where when you finally want to hear it, you can't take the bricks down because the wall is too high. Right. So my dad always told me when a man comes to you and expresses themselves, don't make him put another brick on that wall. Make sure that you're taking that brick out of his hand and saying, hey, what you want to say? What's up? Let's talk. So I definitely get that. My only sadness is that was something taught to me by my father, not by my mother. And for my daughter, I teach her that even at 3. I always tell her your hands go on nobody, no man, no girl, nobody, especially no boy. I say we don't hit boys. And she'll tell you we don't hit boys, we tell the teacher. Or she'll say we don't hit, she's 3. We don't hit boys, we tell my mommy. We don't hit boys. And I also tell her, she's at the phase where boys are nasty, which I'm gonna let her have that because she's 3. But I also tell her boys are not nasty. I said boys are humans too. But my thing is I get what you're saying because a lot of times men are taught to not show emotions and women are taught they're supposed to provide, protect, and go on. And if my dad never taught me that, I would never have known to listen to a man. So with my daughter, I do my due diligence to tell her, if you have a friend, she has a friend that's a boy, and he's talking to her and he says, you hurt my feelings. I would say, well, Mackenzie, wait a minute. You hurt his feelings. He has feelings. Why'd you hurt his feelings? To let her know that, no, baby, just because she knows penis and vagina. I don't care. So shit, my child will tell you. She knows penis and vagina.
You better teach.
So she knows penis and vagina. So I'll tell her that because he has a penis does not mean he doesn't have feelings. So I definitely get what you're saying, that we need to teach our daughters that men are people too. And they do have emotions. And a lot of girl moms,
I think their emotions.
I think a lot of girl moms are trying to beat the self-worth into a girl, but they forget to also beat you can have so much self-worth but still respect somebody else's emotions.
Exactly.
So
how y'all teaching y'all daughters in regards of self-worth and respecting yourself, upholding yourself, and this and that. In the same way how we as boy moms, we are breaking the stigmatism of the fact of having our boys not think that their feelings don't matter or don't value or they're not supposed to cry. They can't cry.
I don't like that saying.
I tell my son, if that's how you fucking feel, then you do it. And you know what? front of people. You could do it in the privacy of your own home, but don't sit there and not shed a tear because you're supposed to be a man. Men don't cry. I'm man. Like,
I
what?
don't like that saying.
You don't do that.
No, I don't either. And I hated that. And I'm just glad that I seen the males in my family who wasn't afraid to express their emotion verbally and actually physically, because I would have been like, what the hell? Like, I would have been questioning, like, why
is that?
You not crying? Why you don't feel any type of way? Like, you emotionally just completely just deleted, tapped out. So that's what I'm saying. We sitting here deleting that stigmatism.
Yes.
I did my damnness to make sure I deleted that stigmatism with my son so he could be tapped into his emotional intelligence. But I'd be damned if I'm doing the work over here. And then I end up coming to your daughter and she trying to revert what I did, and she so now I'm getting on the phone calling you. What the fuck's going on, like, with your daughter? So, and that's me. I'm that mom because I'm not. Because now I'm at the point where I was watching an episode on OWN, and Oprah said, she was like, "Don't ask what's wrong with them. The question we need to be asking, what happened to them?" And now I'm asking that question because when I'm getting on the phone, if my son dating a young lady, I want to know what happened to her, because why is she like dismissing his feelings? Why is she trying to publicly humiliate him? Because these girls are crazy nowadays. I don't know where they I don't know what formula they've been drinking, but that part. I just think like, shit, maybe you should have breastfeed this bitch a little longer. I don't know. But you just need to not tell your mother that whatever happened to her, we need to get some help, because when she not here is have my son to try to humiliate him on social media or anything.
Or anything. I don't like that.
Or you see these girls running these guys over in cars. I'm like, what? Yeah, that's not happening. No. I would be in prison, y'all. I'm telling you.
That's so crazy because, I'm a Black mother with my daughter's Black. And of course, and it's so crazy because I remember when Mackenzie, I don't know if it was like at in the park, in the playground, and a little girl, I won't say she didn't push her down, but she like, you shove each other. She was just like, no, we don't want to play with you. And another mom came up to me who's Black and was like, you need to teach her to shove that little girl back. I said, no, ma'am. I said, if she was getting beat down, I'll tell her to defend herself. I said, but I'm not raising my child that when just because somebody shoved you one little time like that, or says hurtful words to you, that you got to retaliate. I said, enough mad Black women in this world. I said to her, I'm raising the next motherfucking Oprah Winfrey. I'm Michelle Obama, neurosurgeon. I'm raising the next leader. I need her to know that you knowing the law, your books, your education, you knowing your shit will get you further than what your hands gonna get you. So I tell my daughter, education, knowledge in general, and speaking up is key. I said, I will teach her. You beat ass, if they come attack you, you ain't gonna get knocked out either. But I don't need you thinking that every little push you get or every little you get has to be brought back with negativity and abuse. Because I tell people, society sees her as the bottom barrel, although I teach my child that God sees her as top notch. So my thing is, I let her know, yes, you are a queen, you are this, but I need her to understand that unfortunately society still has not caught up to what reality. And what's reality is we are the top of the top, the crime. So and I wish other mothers or girls would do this as well, is teach them that, listen, if a man does come to you negatively, or a man's yelling at you or whatever, you always don't have to respond with yelling, with the backlash, because learn to control your feelings in that moment to say, you know what? Take a step back. Why don't you relax? Why don't I relax?
Being the bigger person. Let bitter Black women.
Yes, I'm trying to break that bitter Black woman mold my child. So
bitter Black woman.
I want her to step back and take a break. I teach Mackenzie, take a break, take your breathing breaths, go breathe. And you'll hear
it's okay to do that. See, that's the thing, because we didn't get taught how to do that. And sad to say, but I'm just glad that as we get older that we're tapped into understanding that, because as I always say, you are the ruler of your emotions, the captain of your feelings.
Yes.
I have so many different things. Because sometimes I have to remind
your phrases just be on point, friend. Like, okay, just come through with the phrases.
Another shirt.
Another one, right?
Another one.
I have to remind myself that, because listen, I could go from 0 to 100 quick.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have to realize that and remind myself that, as well as I'm teaching my son, or taught my son that, because really we could tell our kids all day, but the thing, our kids don't really do what we say. They actually do what we do. They watch it.
Very true.
Very true.
So much. A reason why I also, because when my son went to college, and I remember just constantly pushing college in his head, I said, hold up. I know I did graduate from college, but I feel like I need to be more of him seeing me. So I end up rolling back in college to get my master's, just for me to show him that what I'm saying to you ain't no sugar shit. Like, I need for you to be in it. So he's seen that I got my master's. He's seen that I finished, and he's continued to enroll in, and he's seeing all the other aspects and endeavors I'm doing. Because like I said, I'm like, these kids don't really care about what you say. They really just watch.
They don't.
You and will try to walk in your walk and mimic every single thing you do. But I also tell my son, like I tell, like, you just have to just be the ruler of your emotions. You know what I'm saying? Captain of your feelings, and just understand that no one can make you feel any way. And I said it's okay to walk away and not talk about it right now. Everything don't need to be talked to be
preached. Yes,
it really doesn't. Sometimes you just need to step away, get a breather, and then end up. This is the 3 R's: release, relate, and release, relate, and I can't remember the other one, but
regroup. No.
I'll think that one, but it come to me. So in regards, when I tell them that, I'm like, when you do those, then you'll come back with, you're not talking with your emotions, you're talking with the logical state of mind.
True.
You're sitting there now, you could not only just hear, but you could listen. You're not in your own head to sit there and not receiving what the person, because I hate talking to a person. I really do. When you're talking to them, but they're not hearing because they're in their head thinking about their response.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a conversation. And then I'm saying that then it's like you delete the fact of you having a conversation in a defensive mode. But my grandfather always tell me, every battle is not meant to be fought.
That's very true. Very true.
And it's okay. You're not going to win every war.
That's true.
It is okay with it.
That's what I'm still working on.
It's like, hold on, I'm going to win this.
I get the last words.
That is one that I'm working on.
Me. But now I'm the walk away. I will close my door. I'm telling you. And as we get older, like I said, you start to find yourself. You start to see what works for you. Like even Lisa just said, what works for you, what fits with you, what happens. You start to find, and as you get older, and you be like, and me at 40, I don't want my peace to be interrupted. You interrupt.
I know that's right.
Facts.
And if I feel that you distraught and change the energy and the mold in my space, I have to remove you. Like, I can't. Like, we have no problem walking away. And then I see with a lot of women, especially like we have a problem saying no. I ain't got a fucking problem saying no nowadays.
Girl, I've learned
no.
I've learned the power of no. And
I can't do it. No.
Right?
No.
I love it. I love it.
Look, that has become one of my favorite words.
I love it.
No.
Yeah, you're right. You never know. I can't.
I'm gonna sing that shit. No.
For me, it became like
remix it.
I mean,
no.
What?
No.
I've learned the power. It's the power of no, but most importantly, the power of not explaining myself anymore.
Yes.
Yeah. I've learned that one. Like,
that one. Yeah.
That this year, if I say
everybody don't deserve that. Like, why do I need to give you that? Like. It's just no. And it's okay, but people go and break their necks like, but I don't want any reason why I don't want to do this. And see, I have a friend like that. And girl, I used to walk away from her. I say, bitch, you can go ahead and explain to that bitch all you want, but I'm be in the car, and you better hope I don't leave you. Because what I'm not going to do is explain to nobody about anything. And even like my friend, my guy friend, he I swear, he's the type of person who will announce that he's leaving. And I'm like, babe, why the fuck are you announcing it? You want to get left. Because I'm not announcing to nobody, but he is a logic to his madness. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not doing all that.
Not all that.
I said, when you see this big ass and hips and thighs walking out that door, you better follow, because I am out.
That's my thing. No,
people talking about, bye y'all, so I'm leaving. I'm not, no.
Yeah. I love that. Well, I must say, like, let me tell you something. Oh my gosh, you're like our soul sister. No lie.
I feel like we could sit here and we could talk for a whole day.
All day. Let me tell you something, baby. I'm about to set up some shit.
I almost forgot we was doing the Zoom. I was chilling.
Wait a minute.
I ain't gonna lie.
Wait a minute. Legit, I was like, so yeah, dude. I was like, wait a minute. I forgot. I was about to go with about 15 damn topics in one day.
Listen,
let me tell you, don't.
Okay. It's definitely gonna be a part 2 to this.
Yo,
it gotta be. It definitely had to be. Because like for a second, I forgot. So I looked and I was like, oh, we is recording and we on. Because at first we were just doing a video chat. Everyone's acting like, girl, I ain't seen it in a long time.
I was like,
okay.
Until you looked at the Zoom thing, be like, oh shit, we
exactly. I know. That's why I was looking. I was like, oh shit, we are on Zoom, right?
Oh my god, I can't. Yo, this is
but
too
definitely, I love this conversation. We definitely got this collab again for sure. Whether it's on yours or ours. This has to happen again.
No more. Yours, ours, anything, we got to do it.
Listen,
absolutely.
We appreciate your time today. Definitely love this conversation. Just let our listeners know where they can find you. The problematics need to know where to find you.
They gonna
all
know
these t-shirts that's coming out.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Everything.
Like my whole check.
Yes, you guys definitely could find Kwa from Pillow Talk with the Tea. You can find me on Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube for sure. I'm definitely live on Instagram. On my main nights is on Thursday nights at 9 p.m. But I do have extended shows throughout the week with great collaborations with other podcasters as well as other guests that I end up, reaching out to, and they reach out to me. And not only that, you can find me on all streaming platforms, just to drop a little few: Google Podcasts, iHeart, Pandora, Amazon, all that, Apple, all that good sugar shit. So
what city? I mean, not city, but what state? Not city, state.
I'm in Jersey.
You're in New Jersey? Okay.
Yes.
So yes, all my New Jersey people, go ahead. And all the problematics, period.
Yeah.
You guys hear the conversation, so trust me, she ain't gonna disappoint y'all when I go to the page and go ahead and follow, like, subscribe, do everything and above. And what is one thing that you would tell our problematics? Like it can be about anything.
Yes, your ending thoughts.
Any thoughts?
I would tell them, be unapologetically you, and don't give a fuck what people have to think, what they say, and how they feel. Because at the end of the day, you came in this bitch by yourself. You're gonna leave out this bitch by yourself. Why would you give a damn? Live your life to the fullest without any apologies behind it.
I love that. Definitely. And we're going to end it on that note, because that right there was a word.
We got nothing else to say. Bye.
Bye.